know what's going on? Maybe it's another drill.
Commence primary ignition.
Four Midwest Guys presents Star Wars The Last Jedi. Final expectations and speculations.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
I have waited long time for this moment.
I'm glad you're here to tell us these things.
This will be a day long remembered.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force.
We would be honored if you would join us. Punch it!
And hello everybody, and welcome to Four Midwest Guys Presents Star Wars The Last Jedi Final Expectations and Speculations. And once again we're testing out our video. We've added some props. We've turned my living room into a makeshift studio. And here to help me break all this down for you is Mr. Brian Eckenbauer.
Hey, what's up, what's up?
What's going on, B?
Nothing much, man.
And he's back, the Dirty Jay-Z.
Happy Life Day.
Apparently we just had to get a camera, dude. And it brings you out. You come around.
Oh God, why am I here then?
That's pretty funny. That is a pretty good point.
Yeah, it's a good point.
That's a very
videos
good
and he's here.
That's a very good point. We've been doing audio podcasts for over a year now. You ain't never showed up.
Well, you needed me around here to actually adjust your camera angles.
All right, guys. Well, there's a lot to break down. So this podcast is the final. This is it. The final expectations, final speculations of The Last Jedi. It comes out Friday. Today is Sunday night. We're recording this on a Sunday night. So this
World
is
premiere was yesterday.
World premiere was yesterday.
Wait, I might have some expectations tomorrow or on Wednesday. So
You
it might be the final expectations.
Well, then you can record your own little video and be happy. But this is it. So we're finally here. I know I held back quite a bit. We only did a couple trailer reviews, and I wanted to do more and I wanted to speculate, but I held back because I didn't want to ruin the movies for people. So this is, if this isn't your thing, because we're going to speculate, we're going to talk about our expectations, but we're also going to speculate a little bit. So that being said, make sure, just in case, you, and excuse me as I'm still working out the technology, but just in case, you've been warned.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Confidence is high. I repeat, confidence is high.
Flush the bombers, get the suns in launch mode. We are at...
Spoiler alert.
So, just in case, you've been warned. Just in case we happen to speculate on something that we actually hit the mark on, there you go.
They put an ugly spoiler on the back of the Millennium Falcon.
So, all right, guys. So let's break down The Last Jedi, and we're going to do this character by character. I hit most of the main characters. Some of the minor ones. We'll go through what we think who they are, what they might be, our expectations and our speculations on each. So let's start with the big ones right off the bat. Let's talk about Snoke. Other than maybe Rey's father, this is probably the second most speculated about on the internet as far as who is Snoke.
I think it's because we weren't given anything from the last movie.
No.
It was just
next to nothing.
He was there, and we're like, who is he? And it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, it really did. Because they give you nothing. He's literally a giant hologram, and
which would have been cooler if he wasn't a hologram. If you think about it,
would you want him to be a giant?
If he was 20 foot tall,
he is fairly tall from what I've heard, but he's not obviously giant tall.
He's Andy Serkis tall.
So he's Andy Serkis tall. That's not very tall.
By Hollywood standards, it might be.
All right, so one of the theories out there is that Snoke is an ancient Sith, that he was entombed in the unknown regions of space, kind of like a space mummy or a force mummy or a force vampire kind of thing.
All I see right now is a hybrid of this and the Dark Universe with Tom Cruise.
Not quite that much. But basically, in order for him to regenerate, in order for him to survive, he has to steal the Force from other people, or their essence, or their life force, whatever you want to call it. In this case, the Force, being in the Star Wars universe. So what do you guys think of that theory overall, Brian?
it's an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the Mummy adaptation about it, but he very well could be something like that. Like he absorbs the Force out of people.
Because the idea is he was in the unknown regions of space, the unexplored regions of space, and that something put him there and trapped him there, and he was literally like asleep or dead. And then when the Emperor activated Order 66, the great upheaval and loss of the Jedi awoke him, like from his slumber or his sleep or whatever he was put into. So
okay, so would that make him a Sith or a Jedi?
He'd be like an ancient Sith, or he may not even be a Sith, which I kind of like better, because if you reintroduce the Sith, then that kind of, the whole thing with Anakin, kind of him being the chosen one and him destroying the Sith, that whole prophecy kind of gets thrown out the window. Okay. So, John, what do you think?
I don't know. For some reason, I just that whole thing of draining the essence of other Jedis, I don't really take that mythology at all.
I dig it if that's what keeps him going, if that's how because the Jedi are all about, the Jedi have immortality. At least some of them know that they can, through the Force, become Force ghosts. The Sith, they only believe in the physical. So if you're a Sith, you want to try to find a way to prolong your life, right? That's your goal, because if you only believe in the physical realm, then your ultimate goal is to live forever. So maybe, and we've heard Palpatine say that the dark side is a path to many things considered unnatural. So maybe a Force vampire, or something along those lines. Okay. It's not completely out of keel. And my next question then would be, if and again, this is all speculation, but what if he absorbed maybe like Leia, since we all know Carrie Fisher passed away, so Leia at some point, she has to go. Would this be a cool way to make him a better bad guy?
No.
No? You guys are not cool with that at all?
Nope.
How come? I'm just curious.
I just don't think it fits her arc. Like, that's not a very good way to have her go out and then film.
Okay.
Right, and they filmed all of her scenes, so if that's how they...
At the end, though, let's just say...
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just, even if they intended on that from the beginning, that's just a horrible treatment of her character.
Okay. Well, what if they, let's just say, since you have Force Ghosts or pure Force, what if he absorbs Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, maybe?
No.
Force Ghost. No?
That's kind of dumb.
That's kind of dumb, too.
Like, I get the absorbing physical people who are already there, absorbing their Force.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get that because I've seen The Mummy and everything like that.
Right.
I kind of get that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they get, because the Force Ghosts are basically just visions.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can absorb the visions.
Well, at the time, by the time we get to Jedi, and
unless they have like Luigi's
right
vacuum from, like Luigi's ghost vacuum.
Snoke pulls out his dirt devil.
Well, I don't think it'd be that. But
I think that would actually crack me. I was like, I would be cool with it if it just went that fucking
product
corny.
placement, pulls out Dyson.
No, it just becomes like a really like big product placement for Luigi-based video games.
But okay, so I guess you could see them doing it with a live person, but if they use a Force Ghost, that's going a step too far.
Correct. I could see them doing it with a Force Ghost because, like you said, the Sith only believes in the physical.
Oh, right.
So I can see them doing the physical,
trying to maintain.
And at this point, it would just be like, we didn't see a single trace of him in the last movie. It would literally just be bringing him back just to kill them.
Yeah.
It's a disservice to every character we've grown up with.
That's
so
a good
it's
point.
Awful.
That's a good point. Let me ask you this question then. What if, Luke is hiding because... What if he does absorb Luke? What do you think? What would you guys...
I go right back to my previous point that we only had him in the last minute of the last movie, and just to have him in this one to kill him...
That way.
It's fucking a bad disservice to his character.
Not a good idea. No. Did you see it as a plot point maybe, though, for Luke?
No.
For him going away.
No. And that would just make him seem like a coward for
running.
For running.
Okay.
That's yeah, no.
So
whoever came up with that, fuck you.
So another theory for Snoke though is he also Anakin's father? Or / Luke's grandfather?
Or the midichlorian planter.
Yeah, and basically that he manipulates. He's the one that manipulates. This actually comes straight right out of the Darth Plagueis book, which is now non-canon. But what if they take that and apply it to Snoke? As Snoke is the one that manipulated the Force, even though, to create Anakin, to create the chosen one, so to speak. And that would create that whole family dynamic that Star Wars is famous for.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, are you guys...
But so the first trilogy, like the prequels, is all about Anakin becoming Vader, and then the second trilogy is about the Skywalkers, and then the third one is
going back into
me
the
versus
others.
Grandpa.
Yeah, no, I mean that's. Yeah, I don't want. Honestly, I think all these characters, everyone that we're about to get into on this show, and I'm gonna say it early, like it's probably gonna be like saved for the end, but I'm gonna say it now. I think they should not have any ties to the original series. I think they need to start doing their own thing.
You have random bad guys just completely new.
No, just to, like, they've created their own universe, and in order to actually make it anything but just fan placation, they gotta do something original with it.
Okay.
Because the first movie was basically just a retread of Episode 4, and then Rogue One was... I mean, they're good, don't get me wrong, but, like, if you break it down, I mean, that's essentially plot point for plot point. That's exactly what Force Awakens was, and then Rogue One was basically a retcon of a big plot hole from the original Star Wars.
It's an expansion. I consider it more of an add-on, but okay.
But, in the end, all it does is just... We know they had the plans, and all it did was just explain away. It's like, well, why did they make an exhaust port?
Right.
I mean, but it's like, oh, okay, well, that's all the movie did. But in the end, I mean, like, in order to make this franchise and every bit of this trilogy, like, connect with a generation the way each series did, it has to do its own thing. Because if it just keeps harping back to the other parts of the series and other stuff, then it's not going to have any connection with anybody. Because it's going to isolate the older fans by essentially just, like, crapping on what we originally have become used to with the original series, and, like, not having any connection by establishing anything with the current generation. So it's got to do something original. So I really don't want to see much of a family connection anywhere.
From what I've gathered from the reactions they put out,
yeah,
because it's not any spoilers, because that embargo's up on Tuesday,
right,
till Tuesday. But from the spoilers, they said this is the best that Mark Hamill's ever played.
I've read that
Luke,
too, yeah.
Luke Skywalker,
yeah.
And that this is so different from any of the Star Wars we've seen in the past.
Which is what I want, yeah. That's exactly what I want.
And it said, the one other one I read that I really liked, it said, it pushes the characters forward in a good direction and gives us so much to go off of. So
it's creating new.
Yeah, so that's what I want. Yeah, I want something new. I don't want...
Well, and to my point to Force Awakens, we've had this conversation off air, but I think it's... The prequel haters got what they deserved with Force Awakens. Disney wanted to show that they knew what Star Wars was.
I mean, yeah, but like I said, it was...
Blah, blah, blah.
It was good, but it just... Yeah, It showed the fans, hey, we know what made the original ones good.
Right. But there was new stuff in there mixed in. It was just... But yeah, I understand your point. So the last big theory for Snoke out there is that maybe he isn't as old as everybody thinks he is. That he's not this ancient. That it's actually he may have actually even been Luke's first son, or that he was, and that he's just incredibly disformed. That he's not just that he's not as old. And he hasn't been around forever like everybody thinks he has. And that
so how many classes would Luke have had between him and Kylo? Because we already know that Kylo went to Luke's
right. So there's 30, but there's 30 years between Jedi and the Force Awakens, and the temple gets destroyed maybe a few years before Force Awakens. So there's 20 some odd years there to play with. And if he's
because Kylo is how old is Kylo?
He's got to be in his 20s
at least.
Yeah.
So I mean there's no way there's a 10-year time difference between Kylo and Snoke.
Well, if Snoke is really... If there's a battle between, say, him and Luke Skywalker, Luke thinks he kills him, but he survives, and this is what's left of him. That's the basis of the theory. That, and that there are other recent connections to this... And not a family connection even, but that he's he has a beef with
But a
with
personal
the
connection,
Skywalker, a personal
connection.
grudge.
I would give that theory a 2 out of 10.
2 out, yeah,
2 out of 10.
pretty
Pretty
small.
slim to that. But,
Okay.
but I can see that it's definitely. I can see that playing in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see
Not
it.
a good.
Yeah, I don't
Not
see
a
it
good one.
particularly playing in this movie, but I mean, I could see that happening.
Right, John. What do you think? Do you think it's a possibility, or would you not like to see any of that?
Again, and the other thing that The Force Awakens understood is that these movies don't have flashbacks, and if they do, they're visions. You know, like the closest thing we ever got to a flashback in any of the Star Wars universe was that moment when Rey touched the lightsaber and got like all the little flashes or whatever.
Yeah.
But what if they do it in this one? Maybe that's the thing that everybody
Then
says. Maybe everybody says, they said something completely different. Maybe they do a flashback in this one.
Or it's
It'd be
Luke
interesting.
explaining what happened to Rey or something along those lines. I
mean,
can
it's-
see that, but I don't know. They've got the technology, obviously, to make people look younger, so it wouldn't be
Again, but it mostly goes into writing.
true. So those are the main. So that's kind of our speculation on Snoke. Those are the main theories that are kind of floating around. Those are the big ones, anyway. There's a ton of other ridiculous ones, like he's the kid that goes Commander Skywalker when he in Revenge of the Sith. That Snoke is that kid.
I also like the one where he's the stormtrooper that hits his head. That was a funny one.
Oh
too.
my god, I would give anything for that to be what actually happens.
that was so
Like that's
funny.
where he gets the giant scar.
Yeah, because they point out and they circled it on the picture, like that's where he hit his head.
I would want to harken back to the original series just for that.
just to see that.
Like all of a sudden, like Snoke, they're like, but Snoke, why do you know so and so? And all of a sudden, it's like one of those. Like it fades in, and then you see Snoke running, and he looks over and he sees Stormtrooper next to him, and all of a sudden you see him and he goes boom, and you see it from the other angle.
He's like this real,
inside the helmet.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
it
see
is.
from inside
he's
the helmet.
This really ambitious stormtrooper that he's really gung ho about going into the room and getting the droids, and he just smacks himself
Yeah.
on the head, and it's just nothing but like resentment for the next 40 years. And he learns like all the dark. I love that story.
I don't know. Out of all of the craziness, though, I do dig the ancient Sith. I do dig the Force vampire kind of thing. I think that's an interesting dynamic. That's
He's
a new
Force sucker.
Well, it's a new kind
Space
of
vampire.
Would be a new kind of Force power. New. No glitter.
Yeah,
He's a Twilight vampire.
he's a Twilight vampire.
Fuck you.
The midichlorian sparkle.
God.
I can see your midichlorians are really high.
All right, let's move on to Finn.
Maybe that's why he created Anakin, so that he would have a really high midichlorian count, so that later on when he bit him...
Holy shit, he created Anakin to become Robert Pattinson.
There you go!
Let's stop. You're killing me. I'm about to stop the whole fucking video. I can't handle it. Anyway, all right.
I can't either.
Let's move on to Finn.
Finn.
All right.
Finn.
Obviously, he's still injured because we've seen that in the previews. That's not a spoiler.
At least in the
alert.
beginning of it, yep.
Yep. And I've also seen a clip on a TV where he's out of his coma.
And flying some kind of spaceship.
Yeah, he's in the I guess those on crate, those speeders that are going across and creating the red dust or whatever.
Uh-huh.
What is the point of that? Like that was like the worst stealth vehicle.
I think it's supposed to create a smoke screen, but it looks cool.
Well, actually, I think
It's
it's actually
visually-
that's the color of the ground, and
That's underneath.
Yeah, and it's just
It's like,
hitting the ground and causing the dust to come up.
yeah, but
Interesting,
it'll be interesting to see how they use that against those gigantic,
Smoke versus gorillas.
gorilla walkers. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait,
I know you're going for Gorillas in the Mist. Don't say it. Anyway,
wasn't
so
going there at all. I was just trying. I might go for the Clint Eastwood song from
Yeah,
Gorillas.
he's like,
okay, I can handle that. All right.
that theory's bananas.
BANANAS.
Shut up. All right. So obviously he's set on a new mission.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think his new mission is going to be?
Well, obviously, it's infiltrating the
First Order.
the First Order because we see him in the outfit.
We see him fight Phasma.
We see him fight Phasma.
Right.
Which I've been wanting that since Force Awakens. So
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of giving the fans what they want there to make up for it. Because I agree that one whole scene that they had in Force Awakens would have been so much better with Phasma.
TR8R.
Yeah, whatever the hell is. Yeah, TR8R. Good call, John.
Trader 8.
Trader 8.
Trader
Trader
8.
Joe's.
So it'd be interesting to see if he's obviously undercover. I'd like to know what he's been up to. They team him up with a new character.
Rose?
It's Rose Tico, I think. That's Kelly Marie Tran, another typical Star Wars out of nowhere kind of actress. Her big break, big moment, I guess. So I don't know. What do you guys think overall? Do you think they'll expand upon his story? Do you think he'll just have the little side story? Do you think they'll maybe make him all about him and Phasma?
Honestly, you want to go ahead? Go ahead. I mean, honestly, Finn was the most interesting character they actually created in the original movie because, I mean, that's a cool idea to actually have someone from the Empire actually defect. And
it's like something we would have done in our sandboxes as kids.
That's exactly. Yeah. I was a stormtrooper, but I don't want to be a stormtrooper anymore. I was like, that's a good story. I hope that something goes far with them.
I can see that happening. And you're like, we have to start out with 4 versus 4. The Jedi versus the Empire. We have to start out. Okay, go. All right, I want to go to the other side.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Damn it, Steve!
I don't want to play anymore. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Mom says I can't play with you anymore.
I'm hoping there's a little bit of depth, a little bit more depth to Finn.
There's plenty of depth to Finn, I think.
So I think there is, but I'd like to see it explored more. I'd like to see it play. I'm not sure what this Kelly Marie Tran Rose Tico character is either, to be honest, other than just another rebel fighter. But it'd be interesting to see what dynamics that they play off of. He's obviously, I don't think. Do you guys think he'll team back up with Rey at any point in time? Because I think they're completely separate this whole movie.
They may for like a brief second, but it's not anything going to be like we got in the first film. And I've lowered my expectations for Finn.
Yeah,
quite a bit. Reading some of the reviews,
right?
Just the reactions, the Twitter reactions from people, and which is a good thing.
Yeah,
that I'm already lowering it because when I go in, I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad.
Right.
I was expecting way worse from the way somebody so and so talked about it.
Yeah.
So sometimes I like doing that kind of stuff, and I don't like reading the ones that are like, "This is the best Star Wars movie ever."
That's funny.
I don't like reading those because when I go in, I'm like, "Yes, I'm going to watch the best one ever," and you watch it, you're like, "No."
I never.
Not in my mind, anyway.
Yeah. Right. I like the one. I did read the one where they said they didn't like Finn's storyline.
Yeah.
And they didn't like. We talked about it before the podcast. Benicio del Toro.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the collector.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Didn't like his thing. And they said after seeing the movie, they know why he wasn't in any of
the trailers.
The trailers.
You've actually read more reviews than I have at that point.
So, I think as far as the whole Rey dynamic, I think if it does happen, it's going to be at the end of the movie.
Correct. That's what I think too.
Yeah.
I think it's both their missions come back to one point or something.
At some point.
Or maybe they might not even come to the same point, but they might see each other in some kind of video. Oh,
the hologram.
Hologram. Or
they
something.
Could do that.
Talk via the screen or whatever. And they say good luck or whatever.
I think.
Or may the force be with you.
Yeah, kind of like we got in the end of whatchamacallit when we left Luke on the end of Empire.
Yeah, like they're all on the medical ship.
They're on the medical ship, and they say,
Yeah.
And all we got was the audio. They never saw each other.
Right.
But we saw them in the ship, and we saw them in there, but they never saw each other.
Yeah, that's possible. I think it could mirror even a little bit of Empire, where maybe Rey tries to go off and help them. Maybe it might be.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It could. There's going to be some mirrors. There's going to be some homages.
No more homages. There have been plenty of homages.
You've got the Walkers alone are an homage to Empire.
That's more than enough. No more from there.
But I don't think you're going to see like the kind in the Force Awakens because of everybody saying what they've said. So, all right. So, kind of going from Finn right into Captain Phasma. Do you guys think she's finally going to get this bigger role? Like all the hype, we thought she was going to have this great thing in Force Awakens, the way they marketed her, the mask, the 3D, even down to the 3D glasses we got. Yeah. And she was like thrown in a trash compactor, and that was it.
So I 100% think that she's going to have a bigger role.
Okay.
For the sheer fact, nothing to have to do with any of the reviews that I read.
Yeah.
But they actually came out with a book for Phasma to explain what had happened between that trash compactor and this movie.
Okay.
And that set her up so big for this movie that I really think that she's going to have a way bigger role in this movie than...
Okay.
I'm glad I don't read any of this stuff.
Do you think we're going to...
I know, I mean, I was just like...
Do you think we'll get any, like, backstory? Do you think we'll finally get some backstory?
Well, like John said, we don't really get backstories.
Flashbacks, yeah.
I mean, we don't get flashbacks.
But
so,
they might at least hint why does she have the chrome armor? What makes her so damn special?
She's a captain.
Oh, that's in the book.
Well, yeah, okay. So that's in the book. All right. So if you want to know that, you have to read the book.
So like they said that the books are part of canon.
Right.
So if you want that, you'd probably have to read the book.
Okay.
And then.
All right, that's fair enough. I mean,
they may say something about certain things, but I doubt they'll hit that kind of a specific.
Well, I would like when they find out Finn's in the First Order that they send her out because she has the special fighting skills or she has the personal vendetta against him, other than he just happened to be in her unit. You know what I mean? I want to be a little bit more between those two. I want something more to that because they don't really say much about who Finn is. And other than he was taken from his parents, I'd like to know a little bit more about that. You know, where did he come from?
Well, I mean, basically, like, from what he said in Force Awakens, I mean, he basically said, like, I was basically born and bred just to be a stormtrooper. So, like, that's pretty much, like, that's what I gathered his whole life was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, like, if they show anything else other than that, it's just going to be reinforcing what he said.
I'd just like to see a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more to him than just a static character. I'd like, that he's kind of is.
Oh, wait till we talk to Ray, dude. Wait till we talk about Ray, dude.
Well, we'll get to that. But, I mean, I'd like to, other than he's the typical psychic. The cool part is he used to be a stormtrooper, but, you know what I mean? That's what I would like to see anyway. I'd like to see, especially with him and Phasma, have that to be his personal vendetta between those two and what it is.
But again, because like you mentioned, he's essentially like had his whole life just to be a stormtrooper. Mm-hmm. By this point, he's completely not. Yeah. So now everything else other than that is him building a new life for himself.
Right. So I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, I mean that's
his identity, who he is, what he's going to do, all that stuff. All right, let's move into Poe Dameron. Here's a guy that was supposed to be killed off in The Force Awakens, and they decided to keep him around. He's, from what I can gather from what little we see of him in the trailer or the trailers and TV spots, he's still being the best X-wing pilot in the galaxy. His big line is we'll ignite the flame and it'll burn the First Order down.
Well, you think that's what his big line is.
Well, that's right. So far, right? So
his big line's when he professes his love to Finn.
The only thing I can think... Jesus.
Hey, buddy!
Hey, buddy! How you doing?
He also says, wow, they had a kick when his X-Wing gets hit by the lightning or whatever it is.
Or they hit the booster.
Yeah, he's like, wow, that's got a kick. So, I mean...
It just, to me, the only thing I can think of from what little we've seen is are they going to take him, because they obviously made a role for him, are they now going to try to make him a big leader in the Resistance, especially since we know Carrie Fisher's gone, unfortunately. At some point, somebody's going to have to...
I don't think he'll be that big.
Play a role, okay.
I don't think he'll be that big, but I do think he could be like Hera, leader of the Phoenix Squadron, or you know what I mean? Like he could be the leader of a squadron, but I don't think he's going to be like a general.
He could be like the Wedge of this.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just about to say, like, he would, expanding on his character would be like if somebody looked at the original trilogy and went, if only we brought out more Wedge.
He's just the guy that happens to survive from movie to movie.
He's just like really freaking awesome and survives in every movie. Hey, Wedge is the only one that actually brought down, one of the Imperial Walkers.
And he seems to be he's in the big battle with Leia. But do you guys think he'll be on Crate? That's the world with the red dust? Because I haven't seen anything where he looks like he's there. Well, so I wonder.
I don't know.
Could be a surprise.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Do you think he'll survive, or do you think they'll have the balls to try to kill him off?
He'll be there.
He'll be there. Okay.
I think he'll survive. I mean, unless they're really trying to be a tearjerker or something, and they build him up to only kill him off at the end of this one. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Copy that.
Yeah, they've already killed off like their very big person from the original trilogy already.
Okay. Let's talk about a new character, Vice Admiral, and I'm gonna Emilian Holdo, or let's just call it Vice Admiral Holdo. This is Laura Dern's character.
That's the girl from Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Yeah,
She's been getting like a big fucking career lately, like a big resurgence lately.
The only thing I know about her, and this is just reading synopsises from books. Apparently, there's the Princess Leia book that's out, and in that they were like junior senators together or something. So they've known each other since they were teenagers. I just wonder if she's going to play maybe the close friend to Leia, or will she play maybe the political rival to her?
When did she come into this? Did she come in after Leia was already done?
What do you mean? No.
Did they reshoot her?
No.
That's what I was wondering.
No, she was cast from the beginning. So
I was curious if they cast her afterwards, because then it would make the sense that
to her,
like there's two leaders on two ships heading wherever. Yeah. Leia's ship is the one that blows up, so leaves her as
the survivor. I don't know. What do you think, John? What do you think they'll do with? I mean, she's a pretty good actress.
Oh, she's very good. She's already been up for a couple of Oscar nominations lately.
Yeah. So what do you think they would do with somebody with this caliber and making them an admiral? Do you really think she'll get a really small part being that?
Well, Jimmy Smits did.
True.
So
that's a good point. It's a good point. I don't know. What do you think, Brian? Not sure.
Not sure. I mean that could be where you're asking who could be the next leader of the rebellion.
Yeah, could be her.
Could be her, depending on how they built the character.
Now the wild rumor, and I only threw this in there as it's a joke, because she has pink hair, she is Sabine Wren from Rebels.
Obviously not, because her name is Vice Admiral Emily Holdo.
Oh, right. But yeah, that's one of the wild rumors going around. All right, so from the Resistance to the First Order, General Hux, Domhnall Gleeson. Obviously, I thought he played a great villain in The Force Awakens. I loved his speech before Starkiller.
Oh yeah, he fucking sold that.
All will bow before the First Order. The guy looked like Hitler, dude. Except he had, he's a ginger. Yeah,
Ginger Hitler.
Ginger Hitler.
It's like the Weasley gone evil.
Yeah. And I also like how he and Snoke kind of uses him against Kylo Ren. Even like they're like rivals almost, and. They're ribbing each other.
Well, it started to get into that dynamic, but they never really expanded on that much.
It's almost the same way that the Emperor used in Rebels used Thrawn and who's the guy who was in charge of the Death Star?
Oh, you're talking about the
Tarkin.
Tarkin.
Yeah. Kind of like how he used them against each other.
Yeah.
Kind of your competition brings out the best in you.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Snoke's using, and maybe as like leverage to try to get the best out of Kylo.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to see more of that. I think I'm not sure what they're going to do with him other than that in this movie, but I think he plays a really good villain, and I'd like to see more of him being.
Yeah, give him more chances to actually have more scenes.
Yeah, do some more evil shit, because he's obviously got the demeanor for it.
Maybe he's related to somebody.
So that's the thing, though. Is like
my theory was before Force Awakens, because he looks like freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I was like, when he's not in the first one order, when he's actually, when you look at him just being himself, see, just as Domhnall Gleeson, he looks like Obi-Wan. He looks like Ewan McGregor a little bit. It's funny. So I don't think I see him turning sides, though. He's pretty evil. I'm sorry, John, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I can't remember what I was going to say.
We also didn't think Callus was going to switch sides either.
Something right.
What's that?
Oh, actually, what I remember now, I was actually going to try to count something like with the number of characters we already have versus the number of characters we're apparently trying to introduce here.
Yeah.
It's they're going to have to like dedicate a lot of equal amount of time to everybody.
Okay.
So, and I'll get
it'd be hard to.
I'll get to one of my big nitpicks as we go further down the list as I see the characters are laid out.
Sure.
I mean, we didn't do in the first one they didn't have equal screen time because we didn't get a lot from Phasma.
Right. No.
She got more advertisement than a lot of people.
Yeah, they really marketed her hard.
But we got a shit ton of Rey.
And they should have marketed, in my opinion, Maz more than they should have marketed Phasma, in my opinion. And speaking of Maz, she's next up.
What a segue.
I'm not sure what role she's going to play in this movie. I like her. She's kind of plays the Yoda.
Butthole eyes.
Yeah, she looks like a giant orange with eyes.
Yep.
But other than maybe she helps out with the whole DJ character and introducing him because
Well, she seems to have the smuggling market.
Right, that's what I mean.
So maybe she's how the like Finn and them smuggle themselves into the base.
Yeah.
Maybe she gets codes or something.
Okay.
I can see that, or maybe she's the one that has some artifacts or something hidden away.
Some more artifacts, Force artifacts, or something from the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
I think the Skywalker stuff should stay on that island right there. And
or maybe just like ancient Jedi.
Maybe she still has Luke's hand. and all Rey took was the lightsaber, not the hand.
I do like the jokes.
She's got the monkey's paw.
I do like the jokes that like the meme is, and she's handing Luke the lightsaber.
Here's your lightsaber, and he's like,
"Where's my hand?"
Yeah, there was a hand with that.
But yeah, I don't know what else they're gonna do with her. I don't see her really continuing to help Rey understand the Force or anything along that. Even though she knows the Force,
to be honest, she may die in this one.
You think that'd be a big character kill off?
I think she might die in this one only because I think she's also going to be in the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, that'd be a way to tie it in.
That's the way to tie it in.
Okay.
Gives her character a beginning and an end, just not in the order of beginning and end.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen, because I think what will happen is they're going to kill her off in this one, and everybody's going to go, "Oh my God, why did you kill her off?" Blah blah blah, and they're going to go, "But wait, she's in the next movie," and they're like, she's in the next movie.
Yeah.
Well, but then it's still not going to count as like the next movie because it's like a flashback still.
But for people who really think that it goes Force Awakens, then Rogue One.
Oh my God.
All right, so we touched on DJ. There's he's kind of like I guess from what we can tell, very briefly from the trailers, is that he's kind of a new scoundrel. I hope they're not trying to place him in Han's role as a replacement.
We're talking about the collector now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's his name is DJ. That's all we know.
You know, with all the music that's out right now, they need another name at the end of DJ. You can't just end a name like DJ.
Well, they say it's
a placement.
It's initials for something.
It's just a name placement, so because they're not going to put his real name in there.
I'm just going to call him Jazzy Jeff.
Okay, you call him Jazzy Jeff. We know he's in the Canto Bight scene. That's kind of like supposedly like the Las Vegas of Star Wars, kind of is how people are describing it. I don't know. What do you guys think? If put him in a casino, is he the scoundrel at the casino? Is he the runner of the casino? Is he just another smuggler?
Again, my
your expectations are lowered.
My expectations got lowered after hearing that. They knew why he wasn't in the trailer, all the advertisement after seeing him in the movie.
Some people think DJ is code for Dark Jedi. I do not. I think we got enough Dark Jedi kind of running around.
No, I don't think so.
Why has everybody got to be a friggin' Jedi?
Yeah, I don't think he's a Dark Jedi. He might just be in the movie for like a brief couple scenes,
and that, he's the Phasma.
Like he's a nobody in the movie. He just wanted to be in the movie. And they're like, okay, we'll let you in the movie, kind of like Daniel Craig.
Okay.
You heard who's the next one that's on that list now, right? Tommy Wiseau wants to be in the last Star Wars film.
All right, I'm going to...
No joke.
Really?
He actually said, I want to be in the next Star Wars movie.
Oh, wonderful.
Hi, Ray.
As long as he doesn't talk. Anyway...
The disaster Jedi.
I'm gonna get in some trouble if I keep going. All right, I'm going to touch on the big theory that we once had, and I know your expectations are lowered, Brian, but he has the same scar on his face as Ezra, the 2 lines on the cheek. Some people think he is Ezra, just older version. I think it's easy to see, really, if you do the comparison, especially the way Ezra looks now, and if you kind of put him up to each, I could see him playing an older Ezra.
I still think they could be.
Yeah. And even though we're not sure of Ezra's fate yet, because we won't find out until the end of season 4, which is going to be in January/February.
Right.
I can see Ezra walking away and following Kanan's old path as the cowboy Jedi, and he kind of looks like a. If you're gonna have a Jedi that walked away, and he's kind of got that look to him, you know. I don't know. What do you think, Brian?
Well, yeah, I mean, as we talked about it on our podcast for Rebels, that he's been fighting that me versus the team for a while, and he very well could go off on his own to do the whole pirate thing because he thinks that he can help his planet out better by himself than with the Rebels because the Rebels are in this whole big thing and he just wants to help one place. So he could turn into like a combination of Hondo
Naka, or Lando Calrissian kind. Yeah, we've definitely already seen that with the Hondo episodes where he plays really well with Hondo and is very buddy. I know, John, you don't know that character, but it's a really good character, by the way.
Well, I'm just thinking, I know more about this.
He's like a space pirate.
I've been wanting to know.
He's a space pirate, and he's a good character. It's really well done. So, yeah, I think it would be a nice tie-in with Rebels, and I think it would be nice to have the Resistance have, and I know you don't like a lot of Jedi and but it would be nice to maybe have a quasi Jedi or once Padawan Jedi running around with the Rebels to kind of help out every once in a while. He's a minor force power here and there, maybe.
Didn't even know Benicio del Toro was in this movie until I opened up your notes.
Oh, well. So there you go. Now you're educated.
Don't want to be. I want to go in blind, like I said. I don't like knowing too much shit about a movie going in.
So from one potential Jedi to another potential Jedi, let's talk about Leia. For me, this is going to be hard to see. Because we all know Carrie Fisher passed away. This is her last movie. The last time we will see Princess Leia on screen. And I am still divided, honestly, whether they should do any kind of... I don't want to see any recast, because there's been talk of that.
No, they shouldn't.
But I'm on the fence about the whole, like what we saw in Rogue One with the CGI. And as long as her daughter's okay with that, and the family's okay with it...
I think her arc ends in this one.
But how do you end it, though? Because she shot all this stuff knowing that... They shot it thinking she's going to be in 9. How do you edit that? I don't want to see an off-screen death. Her character deserves better than just saying she died.
I mean, there's a way to do it. You could do, especially if she's on the ship.
Yeah.
And she sacrifices herself.
Okay.
For the greater good of the rebellion, like, and you see her on the thing, like the shot we see, and you see her, just kind of like looking out into space,
communicating with
Kylo. And then it kind of goes to a wide shot of the ship, and you see the ship blow up. Well, I mean that for me that would be okay.
Mm-hmm. No matter what they do,
I don't need to see like a.
Would you like to see Kylo? Would you prefer Kylo killed her? For the bigger story point.
So,
because
we're getting like spoiler territory. Because here's what I want to see happen.
Speculation. So go
I would much rather see Kylo going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
He can't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And Hux kills her.
Oh,
or Snoke kills her.
Right.
Somebody other than him kills her
to prove his point.
And
or to prove.
And then Kylo
switches.
It's what pushes him back over to the other side.
See, he killed Han Solo. In my mind, there's no redemption.
I think that would be a bigger. It would mean more for Leia's death
because she brought her son.
Because she brought her son back.
Well, I mean, it's it's also more the Oedipal thing too. It's like I mean, I don't want to say it's a bigger sin for a father to kill. A son to kill a father over the mother, but there's just like the connection of a son with a mother.
Yeah.
Like that's I think a lot more unforgivable because.
Well, sure.
I mean, at least in a storytelling point of view.
Well, I think in general, I mean, fathers and sons, they fight, right? Yeah. I mean, that's just part of being a father and a son. But mothers and sons, that's the nurturing, and that's your mom. Leave my mom out of this. Your mama jokes.
We're crossing into Norman Bates territory if he kills his mother.
Right, exactly. Then he really is the monster.
Exactly.
But is that what we want, though? Do we want to see Kylo as the monster, or?
I don't think we need to.
No.
because he's pursuing the monster. He's trying to become Vader.
Well, and that's kind of always what the Star Wars saga has always been about, is the fact that, like, be it Kylo, be it Anakin, or be it Darth Vader, none of them were the actual monsters. They were always pushed by something bigger.
Sure.
So,
but it would be, for Vader though, it was all about death and not accepting death, but that's another podcast altogether. Accepting people dying, essentially.
Vader wanted to control death.
Yes, he did.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but which goes along with the whole Sith thing, and we could go real deep there, and I want to, but I'm going to pull back the reins. Do we want to see her? We can tell through the trailer that Kylo and Leia can sense each other. Do we want to see Leia kind of try to reach out to Kylo to talk like Vader talked to?
Should we talk to Luke?
To Luke,
He's like,
yeah. Son.
No.
You don't want to see that between Leia and
No.
Kylo? Like Leia,
leave me alone.
No, I think that goes back to what John said. I don't want any of the other movies in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of the biggest
no
ones I don't
more
want.
homages.
I don't want the.
But that's a
I don't
force
want
power.
the mother.
Telekinesis. Yeah, well, not telekinesis, but the ability.
There's ways to do it and not be a direct homage. Like, if it's literally at a point where it feels like fucking what was it, Benedict Cumberbatch saying he's Khan.
No, not like that.
No.
But let's say he's about to pull the trigger. She reaches out and says something to him, kind of thing.
As long as he doesn't answer back and he just stops what he's doing,
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
Kylo. Father. Son.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I mean, if it's more of an actual dialogue instead of the father, mother, John,
Martha.
Marsha, Martha.
Yeah.
Why did you say that name? Why did you say that name? You're right. My mom's name too.
Okay. What about? I don't know where to go with that. Anyway, will we see Would you guys? Are we going to see a Luke Leia reunion? Some point.
I sure hope so, because we didn't get the Luke Han reunion.
We didn't get a Luke anyone reunion in the
that's
last
what I
movie.
really wanted in the last one was
all three together.
Not even all three, but at least. Now, obviously, in this one, we're gonna get a Luke Chewbacca reunion.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've seen in the trailer that he's on the Falcon.
Falcon.
We know
Yeah.
that Chewbacca was with Rey when they went to the island.
Right.
So we're obviously gonna get that.
Right.
I would like to see that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
I think so. John, what do you think? I think it's a must.
Well, I mean,
myself.
yeah, especially after they pointed out pretty hugely that Leia walked right past Chewie and went straight to comfort Rey after Han's death.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to need to show some love to the Wookiee here, and I don't mean that as a euphemism.
Oh, boy.
I mean, seriously, I mean, that's... it would be great to have those moments where we actually, other than just like Han and Leia and Chewie reconnecting and...
Yeah.
I
I think especially with Carrie's death, they have to. I mean, this is the last chance you're going to get to put them on screen
hope so,
together.
because they wouldn't have redone it.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have reshot it, so the only way it's going to be in there is if it actually happened. It was written into the movie,
Right?
Because they couldn't have reshot it thinking, "Oh, we had this backlash of Chewbacca and her not meeting up," so they had to have written it in beforehand because they couldn't go back and say, "Well, since this is her last one, we have to put it in there."
I just think even if it wasn't written, this would be one where I'd be like, CGI that motherfucker because
No, I don't know. The CGI was okay, but
the Uncanny Valley in Rogue One was just...
it still came off wrong.
It really did.
they're close. They're damn close, though.
But it's just
that close to figuring
But
it out.
trying to pass them off as actual people doesn't work.
Well, when they're by themselves, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's
when
a
you put them
close-up of their
it's
face,
when you
it's
put them
perfect.
next to people. Like Tarkin by himself talking
Yeah, close up
looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you put Tarkin talking, and there was people behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You could totally see it wasn't real.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
It was.
I know, but I'm saying they're damn close to
That is
figuring
close.
it out. But I don't know. So, well, we already kind of talked about how we think.
We already did that. We're down to Kylo.
Yeah, we're down to Kylo.
All right,
Nice,
so
clever segue. We're going to Kylo.
Yep, let's move on into Kylo. What do you guys think will happen with the completion of his training with Snoke? Because Snoke's like, bring him to me, I will complete his training. It's time to complete his training.
He doesn't complete it.
Yeah,
You think he fails? I do too, actually. I think.
I mean, this is probably like his last test is this movie or
Yeah,
something.
I don't think he completes his training, like I said, but I think it's because he gets flipped and goes back to the light side.
Yeah, I'd like to actually see the fact that he killed his father be actually weighing on him throughout this movie.
Yeah, that would be nice to see, but I don't know if we'll get it.
He comes running back into his quarters. He's like, "Dad, guess what I did?"
It's like, Dad, I finally. Yeah.
So if he does fail, what do you think Snoke's going to do to him? I mean, is he going to keep him out there? Is he going to try to crush him, or is he going to use him as bait for Rey? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, if he's not working out,
it's good. It's a speculation.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking.
I don't know, man.
I know. I want to see it play out. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I think personally he's going to use him as bait. That's the only reason that he would keep him around if he fails his training.
He's going to use him as bait for how? Because
to go get Rey, to bring Rey to him.
But why would Rey? Just because she wants to fight him?
Or like his job is go capture her, bring her to me.
But that's not using him as bait.
Yeah,
well, it's kind of using it. Well, it's kind of using him.
Using him.
Yeah. One more time.
I can see using him, but
because
not
he's
using him
like
as bait. Because bait would insinuate that like Rey has some kind of feelings for him. Then she's going to go save him.
Because if he fails his training, then if I'm the Sith Lord, you're done. I'm going to kill you now. Rather, you're no use to me. Otherwise, what other use would you have for him? That's just how I look at it. I don't know. Do you guys think he will ever master the dark side of the Force?
Nope. He's a Knight of Ren.
He's the Diet Coke of dark side.
He's just a different flavor. He's Dr. Pepper to Coke. It's just a different thing. That's what this is all about, is balance.
Quasi-evil.
He's Mountain Lightning.
He's quasi-evil. You're the Diet Coke.
He's the Diet Double Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get to see some form of Darth Vader? You know how he was reaching out to Darth Vader's helmet in The Force Awakens? Show me the power of the dark side.
I tell you what, that'd be kind of... I wouldn't mind seeing... We did see, whatchamacallit, Hayden Christensen.
Yep, at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah,
yep.
So I wouldn't mind seeing, like, maybe his Force goes or something.
What I want to see him touch the helmet, because I think that's what happened the first time. I think he touched the helmet like Rey touched the lightsaber, and he saw everything Darth Vader did.
So that's what you think's going to happen?
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, just to see, like, Vader being fucking...
Like a real quick flashback?
Yeah, Vader killing Jedi and going ape shit. Yeah.
That means you'd have to actually show clips of the prequels.
Well,
the fans would just...
Or the end of Rogue One.
I was going to say, Rogue One, yeah. What was he thinking when he was slaughtering everybody? Yeah,
cool.
That's what I must show you something, Kylo.
See, I wrote this down. We've already kind of answered it, but I don't think he can be redeemed by the light.
I do.
Sure.
Yeah, you think he's through his mother only? Maybe.
Yep.
He killed Luke. He killed Han Solo. I just can't get past that in my head.
Han Solo was a smuggler.
He was one of my favorite characters.
Oh, he was everybody's favorite character. He's my favorite character because he's probably the only one that wasn't an actual Jedi.
Yeah.
But that's, again, I mean, and that's the thing, is like, it would actually give some merit to the death of Han Solo if it weighed on him throughout the rest of the movie.
Okay.
So, otherwise, if there's absolutely no mention of the death of Han Solo,
no remorse.
I think that will not so much no remorse for Kylo Ren. That'll piss me off about the writers and the entire series. Like, you just fucking threw that in there to make every one of the fans of the original series like have their emotional moment. Fuck you.
So the whole movie is going over how he killed his dad. And he's getting ready to go kill his mom. And he has a flash forward of Christmas, and there's nobody there. He's like, no, I can't.
Life Day.
Yeah.
Life Day.
Life
Hey,
Day.
see, Happy Life Day.
There you go. What do you guys think he destroys his helmet? We see that he just crushes. I mean, does he have another temper tantrum?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it because
that's become his
so.
signature now.
Because he's failing,
I think so.
or because he can't?
That's kind of become his character now. He has to have a tantrum.
But why the helmet? Is it because he can't be Darth? He's realizing he can't become Darth Vader? Or,
it could be.
Or is that? And
it could be his acceptance.
Maybe he sees a spider on it.
Yeah.
Die, spider!
Since you guys are real big on him being redeemed, and I'll throw this one at you, John. Is he like the co-protagonist in the film? Do you think, along with Rey? No, you think Rey is just Rey on the hero's journey, and he's still the bad guy?
He's still a bad guy, but he's got his own journey to go on. He's more like an anti-hero journey, if anything.
Okay, so it's not shared by the two. You don't think, depending on what you see.
We'll see where it goes.
Okay,
You know, it's. I don't want to speculate too much because then I start writing the story myself. And then if I do that, then I build up the movie to be something else in my own head, and that's the worst possible thing anybody can do.
Okay, copy that. Brian, what do you think? You think there's room for two?
I think there is, but on a different
level.
Different level. Like obviously, Rey's gonna go. We think Rey's gonna go the whole movie as going the hero's journey, right?
Right.
And we think that maybe Kylo's gonna have a point in the movie where he turns.
Right.
And then the last TV spot they put out kind of reinforces that a lot. But I don't want to go too much because I don't think John probably never seen it.
Right.
Oh, is it that one was like, don't spoil anything in this, or don't let it be spoiled for you, the new TV spot? Or
No, it's the TV spot where...
let's just say she's in combat. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, because... And those are the latest trailers I've seen, is the ones like, don't let it be spoiled for you, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's like the latest thing that's out right now, so I kind of find all this amusing.
Like,
throwing out so many fucking stuff out there that we've read.
So speaking of Rey, what happens right after she gives Luke his lightsaber back?
She asks him where the bathroom is.
It's on the Falcon. You know where it is. Get back in there. Go down the stairs. And we spend another 5 minutes watching her go down the stairs.
Real slowly. And she's like
cross-legged.
Yeah.
We should write our own Star Wars movie.
Star Wars. The crappy version.
Literally.
No, I don't know. This sounds better than the prequels.
Oh my god, stop.
Never.
What do you guys think her training is going to be like? Do you think it'll be the traditional Yoda Luke training that we've seen?
I think Luke's going to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Luke will try to do it that way because that's what he knows.
Yeah.
He knows that kind of worked.
I mean, he has trained
other Jedi. But I think we're going to see some of what he did on Dagobah.
I really hope we see her, like him, jump on her back.
Yeah.
I love that picture.
The picture of them on the...
Yeah, he's going...
Yeah. I think we'll see some of the stuff that he did for his academy.
Yeah.
We'll see some of that.
Jedi
Obviously, we'll see some of the books probably.
Yeah. There is one trailer that leads you to believe that maybe her and Luke have a fight. What do you think, John? Do you think?
I think it's the one that I've seen where like it's raining. He's laying on the ground. She's pointing the.
And it could be a misdirection. It could.
It's who knows. I honestly think he's either kept something from her, or or it's just like the end of the battle, or like a who knows.
I think she's trying to force him out of his funk. I think he gets scared of her vision or whatever, and then refuses to train her.
I don't want to see them do the scared thing with him.
You don't think Luke Skywalker would be scared of anything?
Well, because he's been a hero for so many people for so many years. To just say, oh yeah, he got scared and ran away. I mean, the thing I think would be interesting was, and it's, again, I've gone into this theory before, like, all of Star Wars, like, its central theme is about balance.
Right.
And when he knew that since all the Sith were killed with the Emperor and Vader, that what's new coming up is the Knights of Ren, and then that means, balance-wise, the Jedi can't exist anymore, which is what we've seen in the teaser.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think he knows that he escaped to preserve the Jedis, or preserve the way of the Jedi.
Okay.
But he's aware that something's coming that's gonna signify or signal the end of the Jedi, which is why he knows his time is over.
So, are you saying that that as long as there is a Jedi, that the Sith will always return? Is that what you're trying to get at?
Or no, maybe it's the fact that he knows that now that there's no more Sith, he shouldn't be there.
Okay.
That's what he knows. That's
so there
what his
shouldn't be any
is.
Force users.
Oh no, it's
or no Jedi, no Sith.
No
period.
Jedi to use it. Yeah, Because the Sith and the Jedi were the yin and the yang, and now
Right.
that there's no yin, there can't be a yang. But there's another one that's risen. That means that there's got to be another
new Jedi,
new type of Jedi, which is why
to reach
we've
the
called
new
this
Jedi.
one the Last Jedi, and it's been such a speculation. Maybe it's the Last Jedi, but a new step towards something
a
else.
new form of the Jedi. Interesting. It's possible. I like that theory. That's got some merit to it, I think.
And it's just based on everything they've shown us.
Yeah,
I think it goes back to what you were talking about, and I think he is not so much scared,
but reluctant.
is reluctant. He doesn't want to use his powers,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want to unleash his powers because he knows how strong he is,
Yeah,
and
he's scared of his own power.
exactly.
Yeah.
And she keeps trying to push him, and he says, "You're not going to like where this goes."
This is not going to end
Yes.
how you think it is.
And I think it's because she keeps trying to push him to use his powers.
Yeah.
And I pray to God that we finally see him use his powers.
I want to see the green.
And
Ignite
yet-
the green, baby. I love that T-shirt.
like he shows up, and it's him versus Snoke, and he's just standing there, and it looks really Vader-esque. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all of a sudden, he has it in his hand, and you're like, "Do it, do it, do it!" And he goes, "Boom!"
Green.
And all the hairs on my arm stand up.
Ignite the green, baby.
That'd be awesome.
Ignite the green. I want that T-shirt, by the way. But anyway, anybody wants a Christmas gift for me? Just saying. So what do you guys think is that other thing? So we see that trailer. She's like, I see light. I see dark.
And I
And
see
I see
something
something
else.
else, and it's calling to me.
The bathroom.
I mean, the obvious answer is Snoke. I mean, if Snoke's after her, because we kind of get that. At least I get that vibe that he wants Rey.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what it is. I think because she's like, there's the light and the dark,
Yeah.
and then there's something else.
And you see him screaming at her. He's like, resist it. So
I think it goes in the whole gray area.
the Grey Jedi,
Mm-hmm.
the Grey Jedi of power.
Or it's like we were saying, like the light and the dark,
Mhm.
Sith, the Jedi, and something else, which is
In
this other
between.
new thing that's coming in.
Right. Possible.
No Country for Old Jedi.
That's funny. I like that, actually. Make a T-shirt.
I've got a guy.
Do you guys really think she joins forces with Kylo? You got that one scene, and everybody thinks it. I think it's a misdirection myself.
I don't know. I kind of hope it's not.
Okay, so like the one we get the thing where she's asking, I need help, show me the way. He holds out his hand,
Yeah.
and then the latest one we see her with the lightsaber. It's Kylo's, and we're like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
And Kylo's in the background, too. And
Yeah.
it's all in his throne room. I know.
The two of them, I think.
I think she's using him. I think she's wants to get at Snoke. She thinks she's powerful enough to handle Snoke, and
But with her brother Kylo Ren, they can handle it
yeah,
because they're twins.
or they're cousins.
They're the solo twins.
No.
They're cousins, I think. But
The solo twins.
we'll get to that in a minute.
I love the irony of that name.
They were. That's what the
Yeah.
original. That's
Yeah,
what they were.
Jaina and Jason. Yeah.
Yep.
Will Rey go to the dark side? Let's just do a percentage call on this one. What do you think, Brian? Chances of her percentage, 100 being absolutely, 0 being none.
35.
35% chance. Okay.
I think it's a little. There's a chance there, but
I actually think it's a little higher. I think it's probably 60%. What do you think, John?
Probably 50.
50-50?
I just want to see something interesting happen to her.
See something different? Yeah.
Either go to a dark side, or are we finally talking about her character?
Yeah, this is the whole
Okay,
Rey.
good.
Yeah.
I want to see her fail
Okay.
because she was literally the Mary Sue of the last movie. You want to talk about a flat, boring character? It was Rey throughout the whole
She's
damn
mimic.
movie.
She's on. She's. I don't think she's Mary Sue. I think she's Luke's daughter. But
Oh, she's definitely a Mary Sue throughout the whole thing.
she's following. Well, she's following Luke, if you ask me. But there are so many parallels to Luke. It's ridiculous throughout the whole first movie to me. So do you think, going back to that whole Snoke theory, Snoke being the vampire, do you think Snoke is trying to get her so that he can become more complete, and therefore, if she's this strong, or do you think you'd rather use her as a Dark Apprentice?
It could be, or he could want her there to replace Kylo.
Okay.
Because he knows that she's better. She's more powerful than Kylo.
Dark Apprentice.
So maybe it could be that she's wanting her there, kind of like how the Emperor wanted Luke to take care of Vader.
To take Vader's place.
Yeah.
Okay, John?
I want to see how the movie plays out just so I can go with it from there.
Okay, that's fair enough. Understood. I understand exactly what you're saying there. So okay, let's get into the big question, the one that the whole internet's been going crazy over. Who is Rey's father?
Rey's father or mother?
Who's Rey's father and or parents / grandparents?
10 porgs in a cloak.
Martha
on each side.
Martha's going to be.
It's 10 porgs and a Martha.
Rey's name.
Which one? Which Martha?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, Martha.
It's just named Martha, and you're gonna have Ben Affleck just show up, like running on stage, like, "Why did you say that name?"
All right,
cameo.
I'm gonna throw out the popular ones. Is she a Palpatine? Is she a descendant of the Emperor?
So
Emperor's
if she's a Palpatine, that would say that Palpatine had sex.
And we need to see a Palpatine harem.
And there is no way that anybody had sex with a Palpatine.
Well, who says that he didn't clone her? She's not some sort of genetic experiment.
Okay, so now she's a clone?
Or a genetic experiment. Maybe
No.
she has...
No.
Okay, because, alright, I'm going to throw the books at you for a second.
I'll throw
God
He's going to throw the book at us.
Throw me a fucking book at me.
Jesus, you're fucked. We got fired.
I'm going to take my tin cup.
Throw the book
I'm going
at
to take my tin cup and throw it at your head.
It's a little book. It's only a little book. A very small book, but I'm going to throw it at you.
And it's non-canon now.
So you got the canon books, which state that Jakku was a staging point for going off to the deep edge of space.
Okay.
To find whatever the fuck the Emperor was after, which is probably Snoke.
Okay.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that.
So, and they were doing all kinds of strange experiments there. There was a lab there and all this.
On Jakku?
On Jakku.
Okay.
So, therefore, taking that, and that comes from the Aftermath book. So, if taking that knowledge into consideration, is it possible that she is, and I don't think it is, but is it possible that she is some sort of genetic version of Palpatine? Like his genetics.
So you mean like a test tube type thing?
Yeah, like a test tube baby. No? Okay.
No.
No? Okay, not like a...
I don't think so.
Like a Force Awakens, you know, how they got the
No.
Okay. Force Unleashed, not Awakens. What are you...
Just the whole concept of that is hilarious.
Well, it's out there. It's on the net. I'm not kidding. Okay.
Oh,
so no chance. No chance, John. I'm going to say
that's the chance. Alex Jones of theories right there.
We saw how badly that plotline failed in Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Was it Made in America with Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg? That's the parents of Rey.
Okay. Here's a more likely one. Is she
possibly
a Kenobi?
Mm-hmm.
Because
I can see that one more so than the Palpatine.
She's got the
she's got the looks.
She got the looks. She got the British accent. She's got.
She goes la 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 la.
The fuck is this broken?
But we do hear Kenobi in the whole Force.
Whoa! I found the car keys.
We hear Kenobi in her Force vision. I think John's had too much alcohol.
I haven't.
Okay, I really do think that she could be a Kenobi.
Okay.
I would say that's probably I would say 6 out of 10.
60%.
Oh yeah,
that's probably most likely.
I could definitely see that being happen just because we know that Kenobi went off and had an affair with the one from The Mandalorian.
Yep. The Duchess. Yeah.
You know, I could definitely see that.
See that happening while he's on Tatooine, meet somebody.
And that, and that could be why she's so good at like
the desert gets boring. I mean, you've seen how boring Luke got.
Yeah.
Something to do.
So if
found a Sarlacc pit somewhere,
if she happens to be a Kenobi and the girl from his lover from Mandalore,
it was the Duchess Satine. Yes.
Right. So if she happens to be the offspring of those two.
Somehow, some way.
That would explain how she has Force abilities. and why she's good with like mechanics and how she's good at flying ships and everything else.
Okay. All right. John, anything you want to add on the Kenobi possibility?
That seems most likely.
Most
I mean, but at the same time, it would be neat if she just developed something from on her own. On her own. Like it's a whole new thing.
She is who she is. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue to speculate here.
Maybe her dad's DJ. Who knows?
Now this one I don't like. But this is out there? Is she another chosen one?
No, I've heard that one too, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because that would be so much of a retread from the other ones that I don't.
That was a plot point that crashed and burned when it first came out. So.
I don't see this one either. I don't. I know they want to link all the movies together, but this is not the way to do it if they are trying to do that.
Okay.
Next one is an interesting one, and it kind of makes sense. Not saying I agree with it, but is she Anakin Skywalker reincarnated?
So did she get Anakin's life force?
Well,
after he had his party on Endor as a Force ghost, he went out and just like
got into some girl's body.
Let's just say the Force. Let's look at it like Gandalf the White. Like he gets sent back
as himself,
but in this case
as himself.
But in Star Wars, you get sent back as the opposite sex.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's like what the fuck? It's like what dreams may come.
I know it's crazy.
All of a sudden, he's in like the shower. He's like, no.
It's like, ah.
Yeah. Now, as funny as it is, now think about it for a second, though. It would explain the lightsaber. It would explain why she's good with ships. Why she's good at fixing things. You know, all that
explains
stuff.
Why she said yippee.
She doesn't say yippee, but yeah.
But she doesn't hate the sand, though.
She doesn't. You're right. Well, we don't know that actually. It would explain a few things.
I would give that one a. If I'm ranking them, and I gave a Kenobi a 6.
Yeah. I
would give this one a 4.5.
I give it about a 3. John, what do you think?
Because it's the next. Not at all. It's the next one down. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we got the next one down. I'll give it a 3.5 because I think there's one other one that's probably a little more
likely.
Yes.
Okay. I think she's one or two things. She's either Luke's kid, or she's Han and Leia's kid, and there's an extension if she's Luke's kid to it. But I think it's possible too.
I think she's Leia and Han's kid because remember we had the twins. That's the only thing everybody kept saying when we got Force Awakens was where are the Solo twins? Like,
okay.
Right. But then everyone said it was non-canon.
And it is.
Now. Right.
It's Legends.
Right. Yeah. But they picked different parts to bring into other things.
And they do bring it back. It's true. They just don't use the characters' names. They do their own thing to it.
Yeah.
It all goes into like Disney and Marvel's lawyers and everything. What we can call like the godchildren or what's Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Number one, I think she's Luke's kid. The way she parallels Luke. All the way down to Han even offering her a job on the Millennium Falcon, just like he did with Luke in A New Hope. He's like, well, you're pretty good in a fight. We could use you. He does the same thing with her. All the way down to that. It just, to me, the way she's looking off to the future, she's doing everything in Jakku, the same thing that Luke's doing on Tatooine. I think it's fairly obvious that she's Luke's kid.
Okay.
Now, the part that I'd like to add to this that is a little bit out there, but that I really like in my own mind, even if it is a little corny, would be that she is not only she's a Kenobi and the Skywalker.
How does that work?
So, Kenobi has a kid who is Rey's mom. Rey's mom marries Luke, even though there's a age difference.
Quite a bit of age difference.
Well,
we're going to like some Game of Thrones lineage here.
So after Return of the Jedi, Luke went out and he had sex with Obi-Wan's daughter, who we didn't know was there, and they had Rey.
Okay, figure this out. It wouldn't be that big of a stretch if Kenobi meets somebody right off the bat as soon as he gets to Tatooine, as soon as he gives Luke over to his Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. If he has, then they're basically the same age, almost. Maybe a couple of years difference.
But Rey and Luke aren't the same age.
Right, I'm not talking about Rey and Luke.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about.
You're talking about Obi-Wan's daughter.
Obi-Wan's daughter and Luke Skywalker.
If anything, if that's true, then I would have run into hiding myself after learning that. So that would explain.
And
a
Rey's
lot
mom
there.
is Luke Psycho X. I love it.
Or she's Kenobi's daughter.
Oh shit! She's found me. Alimony. Damn it!
Get to the island quick.
So, but I like this
Luke
theory.
the deadbeat dad.
And I know there's a lot of jokes, and believe me, I get it. And I know it's a little corny, but I like it.
Okay, well, I can see it
why
too.
I can explain why she's so uber or force sensitive. Not only she would have the ultimate Jedi lineage, she would be Obi-Wan and Anakin's granddaughter, the common.
Okay.
That's why she's so damn strong.
Okay, I'll give that one a 2.
Okay,
It's believable.
I give it a 5 just because
I mean,
like it.
the timeline fits.
Yeah.
So it's believable, but I don't see it
That's
happening.
a shit ton of explaining and
But I
a
would-
shit ton of callbacks.
But we're getting
to
a
the
Kenobi
originals.
movie. We're getting a Kenobi movie. I'm just saying, and
Okay.
they've also said Kenobi's story isn't over until after this movie, which is kind of strange too. Like there's still something more to do with Kenobi going forward.
It's good.
That's
Okay.
just my 2 cents. My
I got
crazy,
And what do you rate
crazy
it?
out there. I give it a 5 for her being
You give it a 5.
a 5, 50-50.
You gave... What did you give a 3? Kenobi?
Kenobi.
You gave...
Just Kenobi.
You gave... So you gave
Yeah.
just Kenobi
Yes.
a 3.
Yes.
But you gave the complex Kenobi / Anakin
Yes.
/ Luke.
Because in my mind, Brian, that's the only way she's so damn strong with the Force. It doesn't make any sense. We've never seen anybody be able to just suddenly start using Force powers without training before. There's
Okay.
got to be a reason why she's so damn
Okay.
strong. In my
She's
mind.
Mary Sue.
Okay, I got it.
You just...
Okay, so she's... Wow, that's a 5 for you. Okay.
Yeah. Because I really like it too. But other than that,
It
but
fits,
to me,
I guess.
in my brain, it's all about how is she using her powers without being trained. Even though Kylo did the mind meld shit and unlocked something, obviously, in her. But why? Why? I don't understand why she's so damn
So that would
strong.
make Kylo her uncle
That would make
or cousin?
cousin. Kylo would be her cousin.
Okay.
First cousin.
I can see that.
So now we're really getting into the Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow getting together territory here.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
But-
that's way,
well,
we're getting
that's-
way too close to Game of Thrones lineage. No.
Well, well, you
Our
have
family tree just got a little straighter.
Luke and Leia, for Christ's sake.
All they did was kiss
each
once.
other, but still.
Because they didn't have the original script written until the moment. Even
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher said they didn't get the script until right before they started shooting.
Yeah, that's because George was always changing things as they went along.
So it was never really
He was
done.
always working on it, which I don't have a problem with.
But it wasn't a clear series the whole time.
All right, so
next one.
let's move on to the man that we all want to see, that we've been dying to see, that we really want to see in Force Awakens, and we only got a brief glimpse of it. Let's talk about Luke Skywalker.
Oh, okay, we're done with Rey.
We're done with Rey.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about Luke. Who is Luke Skywalker right now?
Deadbeat dad that ran away from his crazy
His
ex.
crazy ex.
He's trying to skip out on alimony.
Okay, along those lines, is he a broken man? Do you guys think he's been...
No.
No?
Broken Matt Hardy here.
No?
No, I don't think he's a
John,
broken
seriously, what do you think? Do you think he's really...
No, I told
Like-
you what I thought. Like I thought, like if I were to speculate, and I don't want to try to speculate too much, it's the fact that he saw that the future didn't involve any more Jedi, and like what he dedicated so much to becoming, he knows that now that he's gotten rid of the Emperor and Vader, by law of balance, he should not exist anymore.
But... and that's why he lost his Jedi Temple? Because he
Shouldn't
was
exist or not
Possibly.
needed?
Or
I would say not
universally-
needed.
Yeah, not needed, but yeah, universally, that's his. There's
Because
no more room for Jedis now.
I mean, he was out doing what Yoda told him to do. He said, pass on what you learned. He was building a whole new generation of Jedi, and they got wiped out. So, is that, from that perspective, do you think that's why he's gone here? Not just to look for answers, but to try to recover.
I mean, it could be like a not so much recovery, but like a resurgence, like a
Quest for...
yeah, like a quest to redeem him, not redeem, renew his faith, if you will.
Yeah, no.
Like a faith renewal kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Let's talk. We talked about this a little bit. Let's revisit it. Why does Rey's raw power scare him now?
Is it Rey's power that scares him?
Well, we're led to believe that.
Or is it Rey's similar power to his own that scares him?
That's the key. Now, does it remind him of the more obvious answer would be right off the bat would be does it remind him when he trained Kylo Ren?
Nope.
Nope.
Kylo's not very powerful.
Kylo doesn't seem very powerful.
Nope.
Does it remind him of Vader's powers?
Nope.
Does it remind him of the Emperor's powers? Possibly.
That could be.
Because he gets caught off guard with the Force lightning.
That could be, but I think it's more of his own.
Yeah,
I think it's, and like I think we'll see that. Like I think it was it's definitely his own powers, and he found out he was so powerful. That's why he pulled himself away.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, I'm a nuclear weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling myself out of this.
So here's a twist that could be. Then I thought about when I saw his hand come out of the rubble of the temple. And this would be a twist. Did he destroy his own temple with his own powers mistakenly by screwing around with something in the Force?
Oh, I think what happened was I think that he battled the Knights Ren.
Mm-hmm.
And
unleashed his power.
And he just unleashed. It got him so pissed off and furious that he used his full power, and it just brought the house down.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, actually. Has he discovered like this new power between light and dark? Kind of like what you were saying, John. That there's something else. That there's something that allows you to maybe walk very close to the dark side.
Grey Jedi. Mm-hmm. I really think that's what he tapped into, and he's like, "Oh my god, it didn't scare me then. I mean, it really does now."
Well, canon supports it too because Mace Windu uses a not to get real nerdy
purple
here.
Lightsaber.
The purple lightsaber. He uses a lightsaber technique that uses elements of the dark side in his fighting, which is why he was beating the shit out of Palpatine.
I just want to throw it out there since you brought him up. Obviously not in this movie, but so Mace Windu. Mm-hmm. Do you know he was voted the worst Star Wars character?
Really?
There was a poll done.
Oh, there's far worse than
he was below Jar Jar.
No.
This
was a poll that was probably done just to
piss people off,
just to be clickbait.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Because it was a podcast I was watching. And they were talking about the poll and everything.
I don't think he got enough.
That's a big trolling podcast.
I would like I would like to have seen more of his character. I think they did enough justice to him. Yeah, there's that theory too. Believe it or not.
I want to see him call Kylo Ren motherfucker. That's how I'll know who he is.
Well, there is that new meme because not to get off topic a little bit, but there is that new meme with since Quentin Tarantino is going to do the next Star Trek, and it's got Samuel L. Jackson and he's got the Klingon stuff, and it says whatever something Klingon's like motherfucker.
This is a tasty pork.
Yeah.
By the way, you should look at the title of the show that I wrote in for you when you go back to it.
All right, I'll have to check it out. I saw it. So, is it possible that when he tried to teach Kylo this new power, and like that, but Kylo went to the dark side? Like he tried to teach him.
Could have been.
That's a possibility that he's trying to teach him this new technique, and it failed. It backfired.
It could have been. It could have been like there's a fine line, and Kylo instead of holding back crossed it and went to the dark side instead of
staying away like he's supposed to. Or maybe that's where he sees the vision of Vader. Maybe even like trying this whatever. We still don't know what it is. Is this possibly why he says the Jedi must end to make way for a new Jedi that follows the original, follow the original Jedi teachings of both dark and light, which is what you were kind of saying earlier, John.
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go say it again.
I know. So why is he on Octu?
Because he wasn't in Act 1. He wasn't in Act 2.
Octu being the planet that the first Jedi temple was on.
Not D2?
Not D2.
ACHTOO is how they spell it.
Isn't tight.
Yes. A Jew here. These pops.
Whoa.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
I said hey Lincoln.
It's a great movie.
Now, here's a question. Is he hiding from Snoke, maybe trying to search for a way to beat Snoke? We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. Is he afraid of being absorbed into Snoke? Maybe. Like, seriously, like if he's all this powerful.
Yeah, I don't think he's afraid of being sucked out by the vampire. I do think though that he could be looking for. He's trying to get the history of the Jedi and stuff, and maybe during his moment he did sense Snoke, so he's trying to find out what that was that he sensed and how to defeat it. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe he's trying to buy time to find a way to defeat him.
Luke running away from the monster is just the least heroic thing out there. Next to the Transformers,
they keep saying though. They keep saying that this is about Luke Skywalker, and he's not exactly who your hero is not who you expect him to be. They keep saying that this is not going to go how you think it will. They keep throwing that line at us, which makes me wonder anyway.
Well, at this point, we've speculated over every fucking thing there is. How can it not at this point? Outside of them all like devolving into porgs by the end.
No.
That's what it is. Like Chewie sees the Porg on the ship, and it's not a Porg. That's just a devolved Luke and a devolved Rey.
Now here's a question.
Chewie's looking at the Porg, and it's basically Han. It does one of those like, "On paradise."
You guys. So let me throw this question out because with this speculation, has the Force awakened Rey sent her to Luke to get him out of his seclusion and back in the fight against the dark side? Maybe.
Could.
Like he's been there too long.
Could be.
And it's like.
Could be. It's kicking the ass for him. Could
yeah.
be.
Good kick in the ass.
Yeah, could be.
No. Still not want to speculate? Okay.
I told you, I don't think Luke's in hiding. I think he's just trying to preserve the Jedi.
Okay. Will we see Luke talk to any Force ghosts?
Yes.
You think so? Yep.
I 100% think he talks to at least Yoda.
Okay. Do you guys think you'll see Anakin ghost? Because I do. I think Anakin's in it.
We might.
Yeah.
I think we might see Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Sweet.
I do too. I think that would be awesome to see Obi-Wan. I would like to see Yoda. I could take or leave Yoda, but I would like to see Obi-Wan and Anakin, especially.
I get to post my picture with me and Anakin then, or my picture of me and Obi-Wan.
There you go. That'd be cool. And if so, will they play any kind of pivotal role in the story?
No.
Just giving out
advice? I think it'll just be an advice, kind of like how Obi-Wan was.
Yeah, every time like Obi-Wan appeared to Luke.
I think it'll be similar to that. Like they'll have a conversation and he'll make a point, and Luke will be like, "Oh, okay."
So what I told you was true from a certain point of view.
Right. Like I think maybe we might see something like that.
Don't pull that shit on me again, Obi-Wan. Just your cryptic bullshit.
You lied, motherfucker.
Just tell me you didn't know, or tell me the truth. You're not being a fucking sage.
Real quick percentage. Will we see Luke Skywalker ignite his green lightsaber? We know he has it. Because at the end of Return of the Jedi, it's when he's carrying Vader out, it's on his hilt. So it's on.
I would say an 8 out of 10.
80%.
80% that we see the green.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 100% that we see him with a lightsaber.
Okay. John? What do you think?
Well, he's at least going to be like training Rey with a lightsaber, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying 100%. You got to have the green in there, especially. Just for nostalgia purposes. Final question. How powerful is Luke Skywalker?
Uber powerful.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
Off the scale?
Yeah. I really think that he's fine-tuned his stuff and that he is more powerful than Vader when we saw Vader ripping through Rogue One. I really think that Luke, when he lets go, I really think he's going to let go in this movie.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to
something huge.
We're going to see his hand go this way, and you're going to see troops go that way, and we're going to see this and that way, and he's just going to
start tearing some shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, what do you think? Do you think we'll see massive amounts of Force use by Luke, or do you think they'll reserve it?
I'll just be excited to see how it goes.
Because are they going to play to the fanboys in us? Are they going to give us what they want, what we want? Or are they going to not?
I think it's better.
I want it, don't get me wrong. I want to see all that shit too. I want to ape shit.
I'll get into it with my final hopes here.
Okay, copy that. All right, so we fully speculated on just about everything I think we can speculate. So let's go right into, guys, your final hopes and expectations for The Last Jedi. John, you seem like you're ready to go, so go ahead.
There was an old saying, I can't remember the writer or the director that said it. It's like the job of a storyteller is not so much to give the fans what they say they want, but to make them realize what they didn't know they needed.
Okay.
And that is what I think
Right,
this movie absolutely needs to do.
Okay.
I said it at the beginning of the show. I'm going to say it again. The first one was essentially a very polished New Hope, while Rogue One was merely the gap between episodes 3 and 4 and basically explaining away a plot hole. And this movie, in order to actually be more than just fan service and just be placating to, oh, remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this, throwing back at all the nostalgic feelings, in order to actually be something of merit and actually be a good story and actually have anything to connect with these characters, it needs to do something original. And I hope that, honestly, I hope nothing we talked about on this show happens. Like, I want to see something for 2 hours that is completely new and unexpected.
Okay. I'll build off that, and I will say that my hope is that it's going to be everything that Disney, by giving this guy a new trilogy and trusting him with a whole new trilogy, that kind of faith is paid off for me. That's an awfully big bar and expectation to hit. That not only before the movie even comes out, you're giving this guy not one extra movie, but an entire trilogy of Star Wars to go do something completely different, away from the Skywalkers, and you're trusting this guy to write and direct at least one of these movies and write all of them. That is a lot of faith and that's a lot of trust that they've seen the product that he's produced and that they think that there's a lot of money to be made, obviously, but that he's done one hell of a job with Last Jedi. I think Last Jedi is a saga changer. I think it's going to make us rethink about a lot of things, including who is Luke Skywalker, who he really is and where he's at. I think it's going to have some twists. I think it'll have some comedy. It'll have the Star Wars comedy. I think it'll still have it'll still feel like Star Wars, but I think it's going to make us rethink a lot of things when it comes to the saga. I think it's a game changer. I really, really, that's the kind of feel I'm getting from the vibe, especially with them giving him a whole new trilogy after the fact. That just, to me, speaks volumes from the Disney exec, from Lucasfilm execs, from the storyboard even, that, this guy has done something radically different from anything we've seen yet in Star Wars. So, Brian?
Okay, so obviously I want the movie to succeed, right?
Well, at this point it's not.
And,
Sure.
and obviously I want it to be the best Star Wars movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, we all.
I mean, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
So, far from that, I'm not going to speculate on a whole bunch of stuff, but I do have a couple questions. So, do you think, how much do you think it's going to make at the box office?
I think it will smash The Force Awakens, believe it or not.
So The Force Awakens made $247 million opening weekend, 240 something.
Yeah, it was like 240, 250.
Okay,
Yeah.
opening weekend, and you think that's the record, and you think it's going to smash it?
I don't think it'll.
No.
I think it's going to surpass Force Awakens. I don't know if it'll get the opening weekend or not. But I think it's going to have.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Opening weekend box office.
I think
not overall, because that was just opening weekend. I'm not
opening weekend.
It'll
come close.
I can see it getting overall.
It can get in the top 10. I'll say that because the top 10. I mean, only 2 other movies did $200 million opening weekends, and it was like that same year as Jurassic World, which posted the largest opening weekend of all time. Then before that, it was The Avengers, and then other than that, it's like 170, 180. I mean, it's going to get like maybe at least the top 5, but I don't see it getting the $950 million or however much it's currently sitting at right now. That is a feat that we'll never see again for a long time. And it's just, I mean, even Empire, when it came out right after the first Star Wars, it didn't even come close to how much it made at the box office.
Here's the difference. I think the difference maker. I don't know about opening weekend, but I think this thing is going to be something that every Star Wars fan is going to want to at least see twice in the theater. I think it's... Now, granted, I'm not taking into consideration certain pirating things that are out there, of course, but I think this thing has enough lasting power. I think it's got a lasting power, as long as Disney lets it have the lasting power at the theater.
Longevity and weekends are dead. They have not existed for years. Like it's all about the opening weekends now.
I think that it's not going to break the record, but I think it's going to be over 200.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll probably be. I think it'll be close. I think it'll probably hit about 220, 227, enough for us to go, holy shit, there's a chance.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah.
Just because of where Force Awakens was for us, it had been however many years since we were like, oh my god, we can't wait. And at the time when it was coming out, we're like, and we're gonna get Han, and we're gonna get Leia, and we're gonna get Luke, and we're gonna, and we're like, yes.
Yeah, the anticipation was like, I'm sorry, but a lot of Star Wars fans are saying we want a good Star Wars movie. We haven't had one since '83.
I mean, and just think about. I mean, just from our standpoint, when the Force Awakens came out, Brian, we did like a 6-week podcast.
Oh, good lord!
Series.
Yeah, I know.
Right, and this is our first one.
Yeah, I know. I've purposely held back though, but yeah.
Right, but I mean, like that's how much the hype was for the last one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do see opening weekend hitting well over 200.
It's going to hit large numbers. Yeah.
I think it might hit number 2 or number 3 as best opening weekend ever, and I think it can come close to the Force Awakens like overall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's got lasting power. We'll see.
But I don't think it's
hard to say right now.
Because I think what's going to happen is it's going to hit that snowball where it's going to start slowing down and slowing down and slowing down, and then
which is like any movie.
And what Disney's going to do is Disney's going to go, okay, bring out the Blu-rays.
Well, they're going to do that
because they're going to try. They're going to because of the way marketing is, they're going to try to get it out, and they're going to try to get it out. I think we get the Blu-ray before Han Solo.
If they let it stay in the theater through February, I think it's got a chance to beat.
Oh, it'll be there for February, I'm sure.
Well, apparently Rogue One didn't even crack the top 10.
The other thing
the
other thing to consider, guys, is in May we're getting Han Solo, and we're also getting Infinity War in May, so
247.
The chances of them, leaving this thing in theaters for a long period of time, I don't know. I think it'll go through February. I don't know if it'll go very far.
Well, I definitely think it's going to be number 2, at least, because I definitely think it can make over 208, which is number 2 right now, which is Jurassic
World. Yeah.
Now let me adjust this for inflation.
Yeah. What was I had another question for you. When was the box office?
Okay.
No, I forget what my other question was.
Merchandising?
No.
Merchandising.
Had nothing to do with merchandising.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower.
Had nothing to do with merchandising. No, I can't remember what it was.
Something about the Force. Though we talked to the
Thanks for we're doing a Star Wars podcast. Something about the Force. I don't remember what it was. But that was my big one. Was the how much the box office you think it's gonna?
Based on that assumption, based on the way literally every movie plays, because at this point, after the fever that was Force Awakens, after watching how Rogue One is settled in, the way that other franchise movies have, like it's probably going to do, I'd say, look for the gross to be somewhere between Titanic and Avatar. Like I don't think it's going to crack Avatar's numbers, but I think it's going to. Okay, and as far as like longevity, Avatar was the last one that actually had longevity to it, and no other movie since then has. Like, even Avengers, for as large as that opening weekend was, like, hit its big opening weekend, and its final gross was essentially 2 more thirds after that. Yeah. So that's essentially how every movie plays. Unless you're an indie film.
I just think it's going to have some more lasting power. I think it's going to have enough people going, I got to see it again. At least twice. I think that's...
That was my other question.
Okay.
That was my other question.
How
many times are you going to see it?
I will probably... It depends on how drastic it is. I saw Force Awakens 5 times to give you some perspective.
Oh, I know how many times you saw it. That's why I'm asking. Yeah. How many times are you going to see this?
I will probably see it at least 5 times. If it's as radically changing as they say it is, then I would probably see it at least 2 more times on top of that in the theater.
John?
It's one that... If it's an actual game changer, I'd want to go see again. Because with Force Awakens, I saw it, I think, 3 times, and... It was mostly just to take, like, my mom who hadn't seen it when our group went, and I think to take one other friend who had already been out for, like, 2 or 3 weeks, and I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta see it, so You know?
Right, I'm in the same boat. Like I'm definitely going to see it probably at least 3 times.
2 or 3.
And only
That's how
because
many times I can get away to see.
Well, and the other thing is because we're going to go see it on Friday morning,
Right.
and then my daughter's going to want to see it.
Right, mine too.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's at least 2 times for me, at least.
I've got to see it in IMAX, and I want to see it in standard definition as well as 3D. We're seeing it in 3D on Friday morning. But
Oh, are we? Well, then I'll bring my glasses.
Oh,
I have my Phasma glasses up here.
Yep.
Oh wait, you think we're gonna get glasses at this one?
I don't know. I haven't heard
Those
anything
pretty old
about it.
ones.
Yeah,
I've got my old ones still. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it depends on how good the word of mouth is on this one, because that's kind of what helped Force Awakens go so long. Like you said, you went and saw it, then you went and took somebody else to see it, and you took somebody else to see it.
And even then, it was a movie that, by the end of the year, wasn't even in my 10 best of the year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely have to see it in all formats. So that's at least 3.
For me, format, unless it's shot on an IMAX camera or shot on 3D cameras,
I gotta see it in all.
It's an afterthought to me. Then.
Was it shot in IMAX?
No. And it wasn't shot. It wasn't shot in 3D.
Actually,
either.
no. Certain scenes.
But it was shot in 4K.
Oh yeah, they're all every movie shot. Every movie I've worked on shot in 4K.
So going to see it in the Dolby. Dolby Studio down at AMC would be good.
Certain shots of the Octu Island were shot with the IMAX camera.
Okay.
So
what I'm asking is, should we go see it in Dolby then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Dolby one, that new one they just put down in AMC.
Yeah.
With
I would
Dolby,
definitely want to see that. Yeah.
That's the 4K one.
Yeah, with Dolby, I recommend that. I mean, well, most theaters, all theaters are practically 4K.
There we go.
now.
There's 4 just a format.
Gotcha.
So, all right.
Dolby, I recommend just because you'll get a better audio quality out of it, and it's something that it's not something that they're like trying to expand the format of what's shot to fit the screen, and I fucking hate that.
Okay.
Like, I went to see Dunkirk in IMAX because the movie was fucking shot on IMAX cameras. I went to see, if I go to see Hugo or Life of Pi in 3D, it's because they were shot in fucking 3D, and I want to see them in 3D. A lot of days they
Afterthought.
Well, it's not just an afterthought. They do it because they want to bring up those weekend numbers or bring up all that stuff because it's higher ticket prices, and that's and a lot of fans have been staying away from that, and a lot of filmmakers have not been shooting in native 3D anymore, so they're not looking at a movie to be an actual 3D movie, and that's what contributes to a good 3D feel. That's what made Gravity look great on the big screen. That's what made Avatar look good, or How to Train Your Dragon. All the stuff that made 3D something to go see. People are just, whatever, we'll just make it look 3D, and it looks terrible because it's not even blocked or shot or framed or anything to be a 3D film.
Yeah.
So no, I'll see it in 3D because we got the tickets for it, but I'll know it's not shot to look like that.
It's Star Wars to me, and it's The Last Jedi, and that's good enough for me. It doesn't matter what format, as long as I get to see it on the big screen. All right, so with that in mind, where can you find 4 Midwest Guys? Well, real quick, it's real simple. You just simply go to the number 4 MidwestGuys.com. Type in the number 4 MidwestGuys.com. Again, that's the number 4 MidwestGuys.com. There you got links to our iTunes, to our Podbean, to our Facebook, to our Twitter, to our YouTube, to our email account. Everything is there. One-stop shop to follow, like, and subscribe. You can also see all of our videos there. All of our podcasts are all there. Everything is right there, and it's categorized at the top for you. Something I'm missing there, Brian?
No. I was just thinking how great it would be to have a graphic across the bottom that said where to go.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that as I was...
as you were just talking, as you were scrolling through all that stuff, just... Go right here to 4 Midwest Guys.
Check out the links below.
Yeah,
we'll
links
work on
below.
That. I'm working on this. New technology. This video is strange technology.
It's new to us, so it's new to
you. So,
we just got this newfangled color that we're shooting on our cameras.
All right, well, Brian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Dirty Jay-Z, as always.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Absolutely. And this is B. Willie saying, may the Force be with you always.